Good morning, class. Now we are going to talk about color. This is where the fun begins. We actually get to paint a little bit. So first we did line, then we did shape. Now we're talking about color and experiencing color. Most of you should have your supplies. If you do not have your supplies, you need to text me right away today to make sure we get them to you. Everybody should have gotten them. A couple people said they didn't, but they should have so far. But anyway, we need to make sure you got the supplies. Hopefully, if you don't have the supplies, you have your own until you get yours. I don't know. We will talk about it and see how quickly we can get them. Also, I think they might have them at the supply store if you haven't received yours downtown. I don't know if that's an option. I don't know. So anyway, this is the materials you're going to be using for this project. Your acrylic paint kit, which is just the basic colors: red, yellow, blue, black, and white, paintbrush, Bristol board, a sketchbook where we're putting all of our assignments in there, scissors or X-Acto, glue, rubber, cement works great, an ink pen. I think you all got markers and stuff like that. So we're going to do 4 tasks. We're going to do the color wheel, grayscale mixing, tints and shade mixing, and blending complements, and you do have an extra credit. So let's get right to it. You need to make sure you know your color wheel. Primaries are called primaries because they cannot be mixed. The primary colors is red, yellow, and blue. So when you mix them, these are the colors you get, and these are the only colors you get in your kit, and you're going to have to mix from those. If you do happen to have colors, more acrylics, you may use them, but we're going to try to mix them. I know sometimes they don't come out the prettiest, but it works fine. Okay. So when you mix red and blue, you get violet. Red and yellow, you make orange. And then blue and yellow, you make green. Then you go from there, you go to the tertiaries where you get the red violet. You mix for red orange, you mix for yellow orange, yellow green, and blue violet. Okay. So what you're going to do, your task 1, you are going to use your acrylic paint kit, and I want you to paint on your Bristol paper. You should have you could use your watercolor paper too, whatever you have. Bristol paper, make sure it's thick, because if you use the pages and go right into your sketchbook, it's going to get all warpy and stuff like that. Okay. You're going to paint your swatches, and then you're going to cut them out and you're going to glue them on neatly. This is an example that I did in my sketchbook. As you can see, it kind of looks a little pukey colors, but that's the best you can get with this acrylic colors. So if you come up with that, of course the computer makes it look a little bit darker than it is. You just get into little not so pretty things like right here. But this is exactly from my sketchbook. I want it to be labeled very neatly. Mine could have been probably a little bit neater there. Okay. So using your acrylic paint from your kit, you're going to paint again on the Bristol paper. So your circles should be 1-inch circles. If it doesn't have to be 1 inch. So if you have like a water bottle lid or something like that, something that's close to 1 inch, trace them. Okay. I want it to be as neat as you can be. You can find stuff in your kitchen that's let me get that in there. Things from your kitchen, anything that you can trace, okay? Craftsmanship is always good. You're going to draw a circle with pencil, approximately 4 inches, and then you're going to make this little diagram here, okay? You're going to paint all of your swatches by mixing the colors. This is an example here: red, yellow, blue. Just do the best you can. That violet looks a little bit better, okay? Do 3 or 4. You got, whole tubes of paint. Hopefully, if you got your kit, you can do that. You do not use white or black here. It's just pure color. Do not be adding different things. You're going to cut out your swatches, 1-inch circles. You're going to paste the swatches on the sketch paper. So this is your sketchbook right here, okay? Do it in pencil. You can kind of label it in pen, and then this is your paper from your sketchbook, and you're going to glue it on there. Glue, stick, tape, whatever is going to make sure that it sticks, okay? I don't know. Oh, Now we're going to talk about tints and shades, okay? So tints. Tints is where you add white, okay? Shades is where you add black, and tones are where you add gray. There again, just going to kind of flick over that pretty quick. So white, pure color, you get a tint. Gray with pure color, you get a tone, and black with a shade, you get a shade with pure color and black. Okay. Then you got some little information about Albert Munsell, who is accredited for his contributions to colors and adding hues. Right here, he's got, you know, like the grays, you got the pure color. Um, You've got the chroma. Chroma is just a fancy word for color. Okay, so this is just his adaptation of the color wheel. Okay, so there you can see how he's adding the tints and shades there. Okay, so this is an example, pure color, when you're adding the tints and shades. I'm going to flick through here, so make sure you watch it. Okay, the first thing you're going to do, task 1, is going to be a grayscale. Black paint, white paint. So you got black paint and you're adding it. So 10%, you're adding pure black and you're adding white to it. So this is a tip for you to do. Also, it is a 1-inch wide strip and divided into 10 percentages. Okay, so this is the example. Start with almost white and then you gradually add black. Don't add black. Don't start with black and add white. It's too hard. It's so much easier. This is pure black. This is pure white, and it kind of mixes in the middle. Okay, so this is kind of a cool way to do it, and then you can cut out these little squares here. Okay, or just cut out the strip. So this is exactly an example from my sketchbook. Okay, so this is an example where you're only using white and pure hue, and then you're using pure hue at the opposite end, and then you're adding black. So you're going to be doing 2 of these. So you're going to do them for all 3 of the primary colors. Okay, you're going to be tints, shades of each one. Okay, so we're not going to be doing the tones. You're just going to be adding white to the color, and you're going to be adding black to the pure color. Okay, so these are examples which should look exactly in your sketchbook right here. Whoops, back here. Okay, so this is just what it looks like if you would do it on a computer. Okay, so we're not doing it on a computer. I do teach a digital color class that they do it on the computer. It's a little bit easier. So pure color here. All of this is actually pure color. You're just adding different elements of black. So here you've got a 10% black. K means black. H means hue. That's the color. So you're going to be doing all 3 of these, but they're going to be all in one strip. Okay. For extra credit, you can do the secondary colors. Whoops. Whoopsie. Move that down. Oh, dang it. What is going on with this thing? Let me move my little... Whoa. There I go. There I go. So for extra credit, you can get 20 points extra if you use the secondary colors. Okay? Orange, violet, and green. You know, it's always good to have those extra points in your hip pocket. Okay, now task 4. Task 4 is where you're going to take the complements. And you remember what the complements are exactly across each other on the color wheel. Red and green, blue and orange. And you know, a lot of sports teams, they use complementary colors because a complement is always looking for its complement. So what you're going to do, you're going to do yellow and violet, and you're going to meet it in the middle. You're going to take green and red, and you're kind of just mixing it. You're not adding any black, any white, or anything. And the one thing you'll find out is when you mix complementary colors, the middle colors where they meet is just a really, really pretty brown. So if you're a painter and you think, oh, I want this gorgeous tree, use your complements, okay? Complements always make a composition a little bit better. So for instance, if you're painting a painting, always have a little bit of green next to it. It's always looking for its complement. So hopefully I'm not going too fast. So this is what, move that down here. This is what it's going to look like. Task 1 on the same page, you're going to do the grayscale. Task 2, you're going to be doing the color wheel. Look how nice and neat that is. I'm sure you can be even neater than me. And this is an example of task 3. In task 3, you're going to have 3 of these. You've got a red one. You're going to have, that looks a little bit light. That's usually a little bit darker. It just looks a little, on the computer, you know, computer has so much different, it's got so much light on a computer, the colors aren't showing up very bright. Okay, so here this is kind of looking, it's going to look much brighter when you paint it. Okay, so this should be no problem for you to complete this week unless you do not have your supplies. So hopefully if you haven't got your supplies, you may have some, or text me right away and we're going to figure out how to get those supplies to you this week. Okay, it's very, very important. It's kind of hard to keep, you know, track of who's got them, who doesn't. Okay, now this is a little sneak peek of next week. We're going to start working on different color schemes next week. You're going to do a achromatic, a monochromatic is one color, and we're going to be doing all these different color schemes. So it's a really, really fun. It's one of my favorite things to do. If you do happen to have other art materials like watercolor, you have to be very careful with watercolor, it's so watery. But you have an option of using different paint applications, okay? I certainly wouldn't suggest oil because it just doesn't work good. One thing that works excellent is gouache, and I don't know if you all know what gouache is. It's more of an opaque watercolor, and it's absolutely fabulous for using color combinations. Now we will be using our acrylic down the road with your block printing, but if you have gouache, you can use it. If you have watercolor, by means use it, but you have to not be mixing your colors, as far as you have to have all your you're going to be using tinted shades. You can have all the yellows and the purples. You're not mixing the two. Okay, it's kind of hard with watercolor, but you know the acrylic should be just fine. You've just got to take your time, and you'll get fabulous results. So that's it. Any questions, let me know. Let me just tell you, last week's assignment with the superhero projects was absolutely fabulous. Hopefully this week I'm going to have time to actually pull some of them out and show you everybody's work, because it was absolutely incredible. And if you haven't got it in yet, I will accept late work. Okay, so this should be a really, really fun class. Color is the basics for everything. If you have sketchbooks, hopefully when you work more in your sketchbooks, if you apply color schemes, it always looks fabulous. So that's it for today, and have a fabulous week.